Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, you know, things are looking real grim, real bad for Joe Biden, when even CNN is forced to tell the truth. I mean, when was the last time you turned on CNN and you got anything even close to resembling real news, or real accurate reporting? At least the closest CNN's gonna get, well, of course it was in August, during Joe Biden's fall of Saigon moment in Afghanistan. It was such an utter blunder, such an utter disaster, that even CNN had absolutely no choice but to report the truth. And so, you know, if CNN is being critical of Joe, well then you know it's looking real bad for sleepy piss pants Biden. And so of course we rag on CNN pretty much nonstop, deservedly so. They deserve every little ounce of it. But you can't just beat down your enemy over and over again. You gotta give them credit at least sometimes when they do the right thing. And their coverage of Joe Biden's first year anniversary, well, they at least got some things right, so we'll give them a little bit of credit. And let me show you guys some of the most epic moments, but before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so this first clip really doesn't need too much of an introduction. Let me just show you guys the type of coverage Joe Biden has been getting the last couple of days.
Scott, I read a piece that you just wrote, essentially saying this is Joe Biden doing what Joe Biden does.
Yeah, well, I never imagined how quickly this would all unfold. The person they sold on the campaign, the nice old, moderate grandpa who just wanted to help everybody get along and compromise, is not what we got over the last year. He has no mandate really to do much of anything. It's amazing that he got a couple of things done when the mandate was really pretty clear. 50-50 Senate, a near 50-50 House, and a pretty close presidential election. The mandate was simply replace Donald Trump and don't do anything drastic or stupid. And everything about this agenda is extremely drastic. And he's been angrier than I think people expected. He's been more divisive. He's been more partisan. You look at the issues. We built 5 years of coverage on Trump out of Russia, COVID, and democracy. The president at his press conference invites Russia to invade the Ukraine. We got more deaths under Biden than Trump. And now we have the president and vice president and leading Democrats question the legitimacy of the 2022 election. Are we any better off on these three issues that we crucified Trump over? I think he has a lot of political problems, and an AP poll came out this morning. Only 28% of Americans want the sitting president to run for re-election, and fewer than half of Democrats. This is a disaster.
Now, I'll tell you one thing, that is certainly not what Joe Biden was expecting, certainly not what the Democrats wanted, after they had that secret meeting with news outlets a couple months ago, in an effort to put a positive spin on Joe Biden's economic coverage. And once again proves what we've been saying. Remember that Washington Post piece, where that absolute hack of a journalist claimed that Joe Biden was being treated much more unfairly than Donald Trump was? Well, this is probably what he was referring to, except this is not treating Joe Biden unfairly. This is what it looks like when Joe Biden is treated fairly, at least close to fairly. There is only one word that can be used to describe it.
This is a disaster.
A disaster, and even that is just being nice. It's so much worse. And you know that it's worse when CNN is pushing these kinds of talking points. And you know, the point that was made on CNN was very accurate. If you really think about it, Joe Biden had a very simple mandate. Joe Biden was elected purely off the basis of not being Donald Trump. He was elected to bring down the temperature, try to unite the country, to just calm the air. Elect this sleepy, dust-farting old man, and let's just take a deep collective breath as a country and calm down. Joe Biden gets elected with the simplest mandate of all time, to literally just stay in his basement and eat ice cream while watching reruns of The Price is Right. And instead, Joe Biden, with an incredibly weak majority, I believe only 11 seats in the House and a 50-50 split in the Senate, tries to ram through the most progressive policy proposals America has ever seen. With nearly $10 trillion in spending during an inflation crisis, fails to do so, then tries to abolish the filibuster to try to get his woke agenda passed, then that fails, and then he calls people who disagree with him Bull Connor and George Wallace. Literally all the guy had to do was nothing. But Joe Biden is such a monumental failure, he failed at doing nothing. But of course, that was just one clip on CNN. Coverage of Biden over the last couple of days has been really, and I mean really bad. Take a look at this.
I think it's have to be honest that you can be a foggy, meandering president, say like Reagan near the end, if you're winning. But if you're foggy and meandering on key questions and you're also not winning, then you've got a real problem.
The first part was probably the most jarring, to hear a president of the United States who is not Donald Trump even suggest ahead of time that an election isn't legitimate.
An absolute disaster, folks. And just like I've been telling you, a lot of people thinking Joe Biden's approval rating bottomed out after the Afghanistan crisis, my prediction was Joe Biden is going to be under 40% approval right before the 2022 election. And folks, it seems as though my prediction might be coming true. Joe Biden is officially at the worst aggregate approval to disapproval rating he has ever been at. He had this slight recovery to around 45% a couple months ago, which has completely cratered 5 percentage points to his now lowest low at 40.5%, with his disapproval continuing to make all-time highs. And really, the cross-section just puts it all into perspective. Starting off with such incredible support, 55% and 36% disapproval, a 20-point net positive rating, after doing absolutely nothing, which proves that literally Joe Biden just had to sit on his behind and AFK throughout his whole presidency. But instead, well, what we are seeing is a complete inversion of his numbers. I mean, it is totally astonishing. This is 1 year. This kind of shift is unprecedented. His negative spread now at negative 14.8%, regularly getting to a negative 20 spread, with Quinnipiac having him at 35% and Trafalgar Group having him at 39%. I mean, it's getting so close, folks. I'm getting to the point where I'm just refreshing this page incessantly, waiting for that 40.5 to tick down below 40 into the 38-39 range. It's so close. But then again, even there, even at 39%, I still don't believe Joe Biden's approval is that high. I'd like to maintain my belief in humanity, that there's basically no way 40% of the American electorate supports Mr. Poop in My Pants Biden. Oh, and another thing that we've been following quite closely, over the last 2 weeks, once again, Joe Biden's saving grace, his approval rating on his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, has alone tanked 5% approval, down to an all-time low of 44.2%, officially underwater by 7.8. The man is an absolute disaster across the board, and it's causing collateral damage to the Democrats. Another thing that we've been following quite closely is generic congressional ballot data, where Democrats, thanks to Joe Biden's failures, just got the worst numbers handed to them since Joe Biden took office, with once again Trafalgar Group showing Republicans in a commanding plus 14 lead, over Democrats ballooning the lead to supermajority territory. This is signaling the biggest Republican takeover of the past couple decades. And that's all thanks to sleepy, creepy failure of a President Biden. What Democrat voters are hoping for here is for Joe Biden and the Democrat establishment to turn things around before 2022. But of course, the exact opposite is happening, as Joe Biden seems to be defying all odds and proves that he has absolutely no ability to buck the trend whatsoever and only goes one direction, down. It is a downward spiral of Democrat incompetence and presidential dementia, signaling the demise of the Democrat Party as we know it now. I've never seen such a swift crash to irrelevance in my life. I always make the analogy that if Joe Biden were a stock, you would definitely not want him in your portfolio. Of course, the chart says it all, as he is tanking to utter irrelevance, and thankfully enough, taking the Democrat Party with him. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. I'm gonna get back to work though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.